in today's session of Divorce Court. Kristie Wandell says her marriage to Mark was over when she caught him red-handed.
Well, I went sneaking up behind him to find his head like this, up under a waitress's skirt.
Wait a minute!
It doesn't hurt to look.
I asked him, I said, what is it that you're looking at? He said, I was looking at that TV. I went to her. I said, well, he's my husband. She says, oh, well, he don't have a wife.
And she made him pay.
I know it's a honey dish out the money day because it's honey baby sugar pie and baby you looking so good. I woke up and I told him me, the kids, and his head did not fit in the same house.
Today, it's the case of Kristie Wandell versus Mark Wandell in this session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Kristie Wandell versus Mark Wandell. And I'm advised, Mrs. Wandell, that after 4 years of marriage, you want to end it. Want to tell me why?
Your Honor, I've had all I can take of disrespect, humiliation, my self-esteem being gone by being told I was fat and ugly. And a good example of that is one Sunday I was at work and I was called from Mr. Wandell and asked to come home. After several phone calls, I felt guilty and felt like I needed to be at home with him, so I went home to find an empty house.
He called you to tell you to come home to know that he was gone?
No.
I never called her and told
No,
her.
he called me about
Never.
10 times in 1 hour. He wanted to know when I was going to return home so he could return home before I returned home, because when I went home, he wasn't there. So on my way back to work...
So that's what the calling was about?
Exactly.
To see how long you were going to be gone?
Exactly.
So he could make a little run?
When I stopped by the bar that he was at, because his car was there, when I drove by, I saw his car there, so I went there. Well, I went sneaking up behind him. I was like, surprise, honey, I'm here, to find his head like this, up under a waitress's skirt,
What?
little top like this, and little shorts up to here.
Wait a minute!
I asked him, I said, what is it that you're looking at? He said, I was looking at that TV.
That's not true.
So he almost choked, huh?
That's not true.
His
did more than
head
choke.
under the waitress's skirt?
His hair was like this, Your Honor. Like
In
this.
public at the bar?
Yes,
It
yes.
doesn't hurt to look.
I hit him upside his head and asked him what he was looking at, and all he could say was,
Why don't you ask her why she has men calling my house off a chat line that her name's on?
That's my
That's
Wait a
a
minute,
dangerous
let's just
service.
talk about you first. I hate those little situations when it's, well, let me go back over here. The focus was on you. Let's leave the focus there for a minute.
All right.
Now, you called your wife 10 times, bugged her on the job, told her to come home.
No,
she
she
gets
told
home, you're
me
not
that-
there. What are you talking about?
I asked her if she was going to get off work for the day. She told me no, she was not. So a friend of mine asked me if I wanted to go have a drink,
It
and
was
I
all
went. It was
pre-planned.
all harmless stuff. Now,
So-
you want to talk about going
It was
out.
not
Wait a minute,
This
so
woman-
it was harmless. So when you went to the bar and she finds you with your head under the waitress's skirt, was that true?
I was staring at a TV that was
Your
across
Honor.
the room.
Excuse me?
Staring at a TV that was across the room.
Your Honor.
So then why did you say no harm to look?
Oh, I mean, you know, if you go out or out in public, there's no harm to look. But I mean,
You were staring at a TV across the room by leaning under the waitress's skirt tail.
this is after the point.
Just answer my question.
No, I was
Yes,
not.
he
Oh, I
was
was about
looking
to
at her,
say, who
Your
do you
Honor.
think you're talking to?
No, I was not.
And to
Oh, boy.
return her-
People walk into this courtroom and just think that I just woke up this morning and I'm here all of a sudden.
She has an ad on a Dateline service that she says she was playing with her daughter with. But
What does the
her
ad
daughter's
say?
name's not the same as hers.
What does the ad
It says,
say?
hi, this is Kristie. I'm 5'10", 116 pounds.
No, it doesn't say any of
You
that.
know,
no, it
I would like to
doesn't.
meet so-and-so for conversations and stuff like that. So they meet these guys on the chat line. They're calling my house at nighttime going, is Kristie there? But her name is not the same as her daughter's. So why would they be asking for her if they were not asking for her
Well,
daughter?
maybe she put in her name instead in her door. Is it your chat line ad or your
No,
daughter's
ma'am.
ad?
Why would you have them
My
calling your
daughter
house?
has a friend that's 18 years old, and they were at the house one night playing on the chat line. I picked the phone up to hear an older man's voice. I went in there and confronted them about it, and they were, oh, come on and play, you know, and it was a girl thing.
It's a girl thing. So you
Yes,
got
it
involved
was.
with your 18-year-old. First you get upset.
You have to have an ad
We
to
both
be on the line.
cannot talk at the same time.
Okay.
Now you're going to try to sell me this story. Your 18-year-old and her friend are playing on the chat line.
Right.
Mother hears an older gentleman on the other end. You
Right.
went in there to chastise your daughter, right?
Exactly.
And so instead of chastising her, you joined in? Is that what you're telling me?
Yep,
No, ma'am.
You got it right.
Well, you said, she said, let's start to do it, and became a girl thing.
Well, it became a girl thing because in the discussion that I was having with my daughter that I was fat and ugly and nobody wanted me but Mr. Wandell, my daughter explained to me, let's see how many men really do want you, Mom.
Oh.
No,
So I got on the line with her and I put an ad on there and this just happened since we separated.
So you're going to
Nah,
let your
nah,
18-year-old daughter say to you, let's see how many men really want you.
And it was
but they don't
it's
see
for
you.
boredom. Let's talk about where our money used to go
This woman
and why we
connived me into buying a car
and why
for
we
her.
separated.
Well, let's talk about where your money used to go
Oh, yeah,
and why
here we
you
go.
separated, but
Here
I
we
don't
go.
care what you do for boredom.
No, okay, well, this is where
Yeah,
our
to have
money's
men
at
call
a
your house.
local. This is where our money went at a local strip club.
Where that's the logo for the local strip
Yes,
club?
this is the logo, and this is the young lady's name. And then his response was, I was writing your name and thinking of it.
What's her name?
Let me see
Her
that.
name is
Kristie.
spelled with a C. Look on his arm. My name is spelled with a K.
Well, I don't need to look on his arm. How do you spell your name?
It's spelled with a
name.
K.
So yours is Kristie with a K.
Krissy.
Oh, so you have, what is this, a keychain?
Yes, that a girl at a local strip
A
club gave
keychain
me.
from a club.
While
and on
we
the
were
back, oh, wait a
separated.
minute. And on the back of the keychain, it has Kristie.
While
Whose
we were-
handwriting is that?
I guess the young lady he was speaking to at
How
that
do you
time.
know if it's his handwriting?
Because
her
I went to her
handwriting, or
with a picture
anybody's?
of him.
Excuse me?
I went to her with a picture of him.
Oh, you went and did a little investigation.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
why we
And
were
what did you ask
separated.
her?
And we have many pictures of him with other women at the local club with the little short tops and the little shorts. And he tells me
Right.
if I lose a couple 40 pounds, I could look that good. That I was jealous of them. That I
So wait
was
a minute, now,
jealous
but
of
let's
them.
about
Can I
to
have
this
some time
one.
to talk?
No. Let's go to this one where you're saying that you found this picture with him, with this young lady at the local bar,
No, it was a picture of him.
and
at
you
the
went to
club.
her.
So I went to her with that.
And what
the
did you say to
picture,
her?
And the picture. And I asked her, have you seen this gentleman? She goes, yeah, his name is Mark.
Well,
I
just
said,
be-
well, he's my husband. She says, oh, well, he don't have a
Separated
wife.
husband.
No.
So he had told her he wasn't married.
Right.
Separated.
Right.
But just because you saw this and he went to the local bar, if it's a local bar and he visits it often,
It's a
wouldn't she
strip
know him?
club.
You're not allowed to have friends?
It's a strip club.
Okay, because you go to a strip club, does that mean that you're cheating?
I'm paying the electric bill and he's paying her electric bill.
Let me tell you what bills
Oh, how
we
much money
pay.
is he spending at the strip club?
Well, my money is our money and his money is his money.
Let me tell you about
So
some
how
money.
much of your money is he spending at the
As
strip
much
club?
as he can spend.
Can I tell you about some money?
I know it's a money, honey, dish out the money day because it's honey, baby, sugar pie, and baby, you looking so good. And then after the honey, baby, sugar pie, and you looking so good is over, then it's you're
And
a
you give
fat
him some,
no count.
Wait a minute, then you give him the money?
Yeah, I would give him the money.
So you fell for it every time?
No, I woke up December of this year and I told him me, the kids, and his head did not fit in the same house.
When divorce court returns, Kristie testifies about getting even.
He taught me the best trick in the house. Honey, baby, sugar pie, buy me a car. Boom, see you later.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce court returns as Mark testifies about how he feels Kristie used him to buy her a new car.
Now you say that she spends a lot of money.
All right.
Now, what did she spend money on?
She had a car that broke down. She calls me
No.
and goes, I need a ride to work.
Mrs. Wandell.
I need a
Sorry.
ride to work. So I take her to work for a whole month. Well, here comes income tax season. So she says, I need a new car. Let's get back together and work things out. So I said, well, we'll take my income tax check and buy you a new car. So when you file your taxes, the check automatically goes to the car dealership. So that was $2,000. Plus, she got back $3,000. You know how much I got out of that? Zero. Because
wait.
she got a brand new car, spent her money on going out to the bars, buying new clothes, and here I am. I thought we were going to get back together. My intention was to buy her a brand new car, help her out so she can get back and forth to work. I have the proof right here with the statements.
So wait a minute, so what you're saying to me is you were separated already?
Yep. And she said, well, we'll get back together and all this because she wanted the money to get her a new car. She didn't want me to have no money. That's
So
the
why
way
did
it
you
went through her.
separate in the first place?
Because she had men calling my house off the chat line.
No.
So
Going,
when you
"Is
started...
Kristie there?"
No. We did not separate because I had men calling me.
No, maybe that's not your reason for the separation.
That's
I kicked him out.
Yeah, after she
him
got the
out.
car, she's like, get out.
Okay, this is what happened. We split up. In the process of us splitting up, I did not have a car. I asked him.
So your car didn't break down like he said?
No, I did not have a car when we split up.
Never had one in the first place?
I had a car, he tore it to pieces.
Okay, so
and
you
then when
did
he
have one.
When he finished tearing that car to pieces, then he wanted my car. So he took that car. I said, okay, if you're going to take that car,
She's talking about
will you
5
please?
years.
Mr. Wandell,
No, it's
coach
not
him out so
5
I can try to understand this story.
So in the process of our splitting up, I said, if you're going to take that car, will you take me back and forth to work? Well, every morning I had to hear, blah, 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 you're fat, I'm tired of carrying your kids around, I'm tired of carrying your fat tail around, and blah, blah. It never came to an end, and that's what this whole thing is about.
So he
Never
just wore
came
out
to
the
an-
word fat.
Exactly.
I told her she had a fat booty. That's why I married her.
No. He would tell me
But
you're
where's
fat
her
and
answer for-
ugly and no, excuse me. So anyway.
Oh, where's her answer for
So-
stealing this money?
I ain't stole nothing.
Would you please just
I'm
finish
sorry.
telling me what you were saying?
So anyway, in the process, I told him, if you're going to keep this car, I said, are we going to buy you a car, tax return money, or are you going to buy me a car? He said, we'll get you a car. So we looked all over God's green creation and found a car. Okay,
Under the impression we were going to be together.
in the meantime that we were purchasing the car had a 10-day delay on it while they were waiting for the money. There was another argument because of his verbal abuse to me, insulting me, and killing my self-esteem, what little bit I got left.
You
we
let
got to-
him kill your self-esteem because he called you fat? And because he said you had a big
4 years
butt?
of a lot of other stuff.
What you need to learn is to love yourself, and you don't have to worry about what he
did.
says.
Oh, she
I
says
woke
all
up
that.
and after all the years I've been with him, he's taught me how to get what I need to get, because the only time he had anything nice
Steal
to
it.
say to me, the only thing he had anything nice to say to me was when
he
he
wanted some money.
something.
Got that
well,
part.
guess what? He taught me the best trick in the house.
So
he
you
taught
used
me
it.
how to honey baby sugar pie, buy me a car, boom, see you later.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what you did.
She admits she stole it.
No, I didn't steal
So what
it.
you're
I took-
saying, what you're saying
stole it.
is you took lessons from
him.
Mr. Wandell,
Yes, ma'am.
and you used his trick to get what you needed.
How can I steal
And
my own money?
also, I did not take all of his money. I paid the remainder, $400.
She took $2,000.
How did
paid,
she take it? You just
right here.
Did you sign the check?
Yes. He signed
Under
all
the
the
impression
paperwork.
we were
All the
gonna be
paperwork.
together.
All the paperwork's in both of our names. The car's in both of our names.
So the two of you are married. You're separated. Both of you are working. You filed separate income tax returns, right?
Right.
You filed your income tax return, got a refund of at least
I didn't get nothing. It went straight to the car.
You got a refund of $2,000, which you used as a down payment on the car.
For her
Now
car.
wait till I talk before you open your mouth, right? Mm-hmm. You said that the year before, when you were still married, you filed income taxes. You filed separately. You got a refund, and you used your refund to buy Mr. Wandell a car.
And she bought herself a car, too, that year.
And
Your car broke down.
no, he tore it to pieces.
Okay, but when you separated, Mr. Wandell was driving the one car that was left.
Exactly.
And that's the car that you're still driving, I assume. Is that right?
Exactly.
And I didn't tear her car up. She was driving to work and the steering wheel fell off. I can't help it. She bought a
goodness.
lemon.
No.
All right,
No,
now
he-
you say that yes, I convinced him to spend his money.
He didn't spend all of his money, Your Honor. When I got my tax return check, in one payment I gave him $300, and another payment I gave him $200, and I'm paying for the divorce. So has he coming out? I'm
Out of
paying all the
$2,000,
bills
I got
in the house.
$300, and plus
So,
she got
you
$3,000
got-
back, and I got nothing
you
out
got-
of
So,
that.
Mr. Wandell, when you
1,100.
paid the $2,000,
Yep.
she said to you, buy me a car with
We're
your
gonna
income tax
Let's get back
refund.
together. We'll get a new car, and we could share it.
And so you bought the car.
And the next day, she kicked me out.
You got back together, right?
For one day, till she got her car.
And then you were gone.
Yeah.
That would've
She
been
went.
And whose name is the car in?
It's in both of our name, and it took 10 days to get the
Is
car,
the
Your
car
Honor.
paid for in full
Nope.
now?
No, ma'am.
So who's making the payments?
I am, Your Honor.
So you're making the rest of the payments?
So it's
Yes,
her car.
ma'am.
All right. So you want back your $2,000?
Yeah, evidently I got nothing out of it.
And I
She
want-
had $3,000 of her own income tax money. She could have bought the car with that herself and left me out of the whole situation, and I would have been fine. I didn't want nothing to do with her anyway.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict. And an update on the case of Donnell Speaks versus Paul Speaks.
This man was wearing corduroys in July, Coca-Cola bottle glasses. He didn't know anything. And I taught him how to eat, how to hold a napkin, how to hold a fork.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court returns as Mark Wandell testifies about Kristie stealing his money.
How would you feel if your own wife ripped you off?
I didn't rip him off. How can I steal something that's mine?
Mr. Wandell, Mrs. Wandell, it's not funny. I'm not about to sit here and allow the two of you to start picking on every little thing that went wrong during this marriage and every time there was a dispute or every time something was said. Because for 4 years, we could be here for another.
but see,
Just be quiet, Mr. Wandell. You haven't learned one thing yet.
I ain't never got to talk.
You've said enough for me to hear.
That's all he does.
Because when you talk, you want to talk about back and forth in terms
but
of... Mr. Wandell, I'm not sitting here to debate with you. I said be quiet.
All right.
Now, you've explained to me about the car. It doesn't take a lot of talking to explain that. I heard you. She tricked you into buying you a car. That's bottom line is what you're trying to tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
She promised that if you were to give the money, that you guys would get back together. You got back together for one day, got a new car, she gave you the boot. Did I hear you?
Yes, ma'am.
My God, it doesn't take long to hear that.
All I was going to say is I was already gone. Why didn't she just leave me
It's not
gone?
the way that it happened. I asked him to help me
Mrs.
out.
Wandell, I heard your side too very well. All right? You asked him to help you get a new car. He said he would. He did. You gave him the boot because you learned his lesson, turned back on him. Right?
He was not living with
I
me.
hear well.
He was not living with me when all this was transpiring.
The two of you don't listen
Okay.
because I heard that.
Okay.
The point is whether you owe him the money or not. That's the issue. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You with me?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I don't think she does. And here's the reason why. She asked you to buy the car. You said, I will. You believe that you get back together, you said, and you did. So she kept her in.
For
she
one
didn't
day.
You never told me that she said we'll get back together forever.
What about the money she used? Why didn't she use her own money?
Because the order of the court is that she does not have to refund the money. I was about to give you an explanation. Doesn't matter to you. I'll save my voice. Court's adjourned.
All rise.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Donnell Speaks versus Paul Speaks.
I found pantyhose, eyeliner pencils, panties.
Huh?
Homeboy been real busy.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? To appear before a real judge on a new court show, call 877-777-0099. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Donnell Speaks said she helped improve her husband Paul's image.
This man was wearing corduroys in July, Coca-Cola bottle glasses. He didn't know anything. He didn't know how to fill out an application for a car. He didn't have a driver's license. And I taught him how to eat, how to hold a napkin, how to hold a fork.
You can say, boy, I could do wonders with this.
But when she found another woman's belongings in their house, the marriage was over.
I found pantyhose, eyeliner pencils, panties.
Huh?
Homeboy been real busy.
Donnell wanted $8,224 for household furnishings, but after evaluating the value of the furniture, the judge awarded her $1,500. Danelle says she is not going to let having sickle cell anemia stop her from taking the trips she has always dreamed about. She has taken a few small trips, but is looking forward to visiting South America this fall. Paul is happy his marriage is finally over and is looking forward to starting a new family.
I'm gonna go home, raise my kids, go to work, take care of business.
She stole the money, she kicked me out, and you know, what did she do with her money?
Him calling me honey pie, sugar pie, honey bun was his way of smoothing me over and making me think he loves me to get what he wants.
She's been ripping me off for the whole 4 years. I'm just glad it's over.
He's all into himself. It was never about me, it's about Mark.
Bye.